Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Relationship show. Going to be talking about dating and what about dating disappointments? And we're going to talk about, of course, love, marriage, sex, you name it. Don't go anywhere. We're going to kick off the Art of Relationship show right after the intro. Don't go anywhere, people. Woohoo! Hey, welcome back. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show, people. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. And everybody's promoting love and getting rid of hate out there, okay? So the format is, in case you're new, this is the Art of Relationship show. I do a live every Wednesday at noon Eastern time. That's Detroit time, New York time. And you can throw out your questions, your comments down below. And it doesn't have to deal with the topic at hand. If it is, great. If not, no big deal. Okay? For those out there that are paying attention or that are watching, excuse me. You can throw in, like I said, throw in your questions down below, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. I'm your host, Greg Dudzinski, fully licensed professional counselor here in Detroit. Fully licensed in the state of Michigan, of course, and I'm a relationship sex specialist, and I have a lot of grief and trauma experience as well, okay? So any questions, relating to that, I'll do the best I can to answer them. And another disclosure is this does not replace the, professional counseling I do in my office where I'm at right now behind me. Because of, let's face it, HIPAA, privacy, I can't guarantee all that stuff doing the show. So I do the show to help people out there to hopefully get reconnected, to heal broken hearts, broken souls, and to become more connected than ever before, emotionally, mentally, soulfully, and physically, baby. Woohoo! Yes, okay? So, going to be talking about dating faux pas, if you will, dating maybe mistakes, maybe a better example would be dating disappointments, okay? And how many people out there, and I know people, listen to the show, whatever, I have a lot of single people out there that are in the dating realm that I hear it on a daily basis. Dating sucks, Greg. So, going to give maybe a few insights and whatever, but also joke around a little bit today about dating disappointments. And I know people are going to say, well, what's funnier about disappointing when dates go out there and, look at, what do you do? Can you guard against disappointments in the dating realm? No, you cannot. So the title of the show is, how, try to avoid, dating disappointments. You know what? You can do the best, but you still can be, right? Some people out there, they're honest, they're legit. They're coming from a place of, genuineness, integrity. They're not running game. They're not BSing people. They're out there and they're people, I'm looking for a relationship, and they only want, let's face it, a piece of meat. They only want sex, okay? So I look at, I'm not into that. I'm not into people looking for, they just want to hook up, and telling people that they want a long-term relationship. They're looking for marriage. They're legit. They're all this, and they only want a piece of meat, okay? And that goes for women or men. So I'm all about, if you're only looking for those elements, people, be open, be honest. Hey, I'm only looking for a hookup. I'm only looking for a little fun. Don't lead anyone on. Don't misrepresent. Don't lie, right? People listening, yeah, Greg, yeah. How many people out there are also looking at the situations about understanding that people get and look at that, okay? They're able to, oh, yeah, but they're lying, okay? And that's what I mean. We can't avoid full disappointments in dating realm. And we can talk about, years and years ago, dating where, a disappointment, you meet somebody in person, maybe talk on the phone before they had video calls, right? I'm talking many, many years ago. And you meet the person and they don't even look like that individual. Not even close. I've been there years ago, right? I walk in and it's like, huh? What? Oh, I'm looking for whatever, thinking it's a hostess or whatever. They lie. Or people, they'll have, maybe there are pictures, right? And you meet in person, right? And you find out the pictures are like 10 years old, 15 years old. It's not easy. I get that. And that's where I want people to understand about being legit and understanding. But we'll go through, even more disappointments when it comes into a situation. Oops, sorry, people. I forgot to start Instagram. So let me do that for a little bit. Sorry about the interruption a little bit. So when dating, be honest, be open, be legit. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. Don't lie. Don't mislead. And there's people out there, like I said, you can be open, legit. You think you found your person. And then you find out months later, I'm talking months later. How do I know that? I deal with that in my office. They found out that person's married still. And they told me she's divorced, he's divorced. You get me? And they have no idea. Hey, let me talk to your soon-to-be ex-wife. Let me talk to your soon-to-be ex-husband. See if he's, legit, if he's in the know. Oh, no, I don't want that, right? So there's people out there that are lying, that are misleading. I run into that a lot, in my office where people have met. They lie about their age. How can you avoid disappointment? Like I said, the title of this episode might be a little misleading because you can do everything accurate, right, be legit. That doesn't mean that other person is going to be open and going to be honest out there as well, okay? I wish they were. I wish they were legit people, but they're not. But we're going to talk about even further disappointment where, you think your person is great. You meet them and terrific, awesome. The attraction's there. You feel, the chemistry is there. The emotional, the mental connection is there as well. And then you're thinking this person, oh my God, they're attractive. They're what I'm looking for. And then the first time you make sweet love and you're like, ew, that's a disappointment, right? You're thinking that person would curl your toes, right? And how many people look at, you know what? Man, that was a disappointment. Now, granted, right? We know first time you might be nervous. Other person, you're both nervous, right? So you're also being able to look at, those situations that you might understand that, oh man, you know what? I'm nervous, whatever, my bad. Or what happens if that continues and you're like disappointed in the intimacy realm? Hey, Brandon. Hey, Sam. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, everybody. And it's hard. It's difficult. It's not easy. But you're looking at knocking boots, whatever. And do you take it for granted? Yeah, I get you're nervous. I'm nervous. So the first time, together, making sweet love, whatever you want to call it, might be a little bit off-putting. Might be a little bit disappointing, right? But if the gist might be there, right? If the chemistry might be there, and that's going to be able to improve down the road. Or you look at they just maybe not have any clue, right? They might not have any idea about compatibility, right? When it comes into the physical realm, the sexual realm, right? And a lot of people are looking at, man, this perfect is great. This person is great. Everything I'm looking for, but the chemistry, right? Or what happens if, say, you meet that person, you make sweet love, knocking boots type of thing. Man, it's great. My toes curled. Oh, my God. Awesome. And then you get to know this person more and more, and you're like, oh, my God, right? You're disappointed because the emotional connection is not there like you thought it would. The mental connection is not there where you thought it would be. And when the mental/intellectual connection, I'm not talking about genius. No, I'm talking about the mental/intellectual connection, that you're sort of on the same page. You understand each other. You can relate to different things of interest, topics. If it's world events, what's going around in the world, maybe, your view on how to treat people, that type of situation. Your view on, it could be anything, world peace. It could be LGBTQ, right? One person thinks it's crap and the other one is all for it. And I promote LGBTQ, okay? I support that, very much so. So I'm all about equal rights, and maybe you're with somebody, you found out, man, the sex is great, terrific, but you find out you're disappointed because they totally maybe believe something that's totally opposite than you. Maybe, recently, politics, right? Maybe you find out they love camping, they love the outdoors, and you totally hate it, right? So that's where I tell people about the disappointments in the dating realm. And how do you avoid that, right? And people will look at, and I hear it all the time, well, in their profile, right? And again, you want somebody that's going to be open and honest, but also, do you set yourself up to be disappointed? Do you set yourself up to be, you're thinking, oh, I can get somebody to change my mind. They hate camping, right? I'm not a big camping fan. When I was younger, kid, yeah, sure. But now, no. Heck no. So, you're thinking, someone, say you love camping and you read somebody outdoor. They didn't mention they don't like camping, but then you find out they do, and you're, this person's great, terrific, and you're hoping they change their mind, right? You're setting yourself up for a disappointment. You're already trying to stack the deck against that person and against you both being compatible, okay? So I look at, is that person being dishonest, deceitful? You get me with their description in the dating realm or however you meet, right? Some people, it's rare anymore, people meet in the bar or meet by friends, Most people meet online, right? Most people dating apps. Most people look at, whatever, online events or online groups, if you will, one form or another, right? And you're thinking that, I'm going to get this person to like oral sex, and they don't. You're trying to get this person to hate camping, but they love it. Or some people might love fishing, the outdoors, fishing, hunting, whatever, and you're totally against it. I'll get them to give it up because I'm worth it, right? And that's where I tell people about understanding and about the disappointment, that are you setting yourself up for that? Not only that, you're not taking that person for who they are, even if they are open, they're honest, they're legit and telling you, and you're thinking, they're great, they're all this, I'm attractive, this is awesome, right? Terrific. However, maybe that's not what you're looking for, right? Nothing's perfect, right? So everybody tries to stack the deck in their favor, right? I don't want that for anybody, not at all. But I'm talking about, are you really listening or reading what that person says in their profile? Number one, we're hoping they're honest, right? Number two is, if they're not, how do you address it? And do you find out right away? And sometimes you don't. Like I said, sometimes people date, they hook up, whatever. And like I said, you find out they're living with another person. They're in a relationship. They're still married. And they've lied. So in those situations, that just rips your heart out, right? You lied to me. You were deceitful. Are you the individual that would cut it off right then and be done with that individual? And I can tell you, I hear this a lot. A lot of people, I'd be done. And those same individuals are later in my office with those individuals, and I find out what's going on. she's still married, he's still married. I'm like, wow, is there any plans for a divorce? And what about healing or breaking up, moving out, those type of situations? Or is that person just lying to you, blowing smoke up your booty? Or maybe they really want to do that, break up, get out of an unhealthy situation. I get it. But they feel guilty, right? Or they might be feeling, they get manipulated by that other person. That's why it's not a great situation. That's not why it's a healthy situation to be able to go after. I get it. I understand it. But you're already stacking the deck and you're disappointed big time. Not only that, but down the road, you're also looking at, and I had a new couple last night, the same thing. Well, we met and she was still married. He was still married. And when there is a discrepancy or a difficult time in a relationship, that one person is thinking, oh my God, I met them when they're married or dating someone or involved with someone, living with somebody. And now feel disconnected. Are they doing the same thing they did to their prior partner when we started dating? So I'd like to try to avoid all that heartbreak and disappointment. Is that always possible? No, I'm a realist. But I'm looking at what other stories do you have that might be, what do I want to say? That might be disappointments in the dating realm. I mentioned some of them. Hey, Stephanie, Sharon, what's going on? I appreciate everybody tuning in. Big Papa, what's happening, man? And that's where I want people to understand, what's happening, what's going on, into, what stories do you have when it comes into the dating realm that you run into? And like I said earlier, and I know Instagram, I'm sorry, I started late, forgot to push the button to activate you guys. But, you run in and you find out that person you're meeting don't even look like their profile, their pictures in their profile. And you're like, what the? Right there. They're lying. They're deceitful. They're not honest. And I get understanding, right? I do this for a living. They might be, insecure. They might be, but you're already lying right off the jump, right? And they're hoping, you won't care. Well, some people won't. But, and how many people have been dating and been, like I mentioned before, been very disappointed where you find out they're dating somebody else, they're married, living with somebody. They misrepresented themselves, where some people meet and it's 6, 7, 8 months later and find out the person was lying about his or her age. And I'm not talking 1 year. I'm talking like lying about 7 years, 8 years down the road, right? And that person, let's say, might want kids, the younger one, and, you know what, I don't want kids at my age. And then, what are you talking about, right? And you find out they're 7, 8, 9 years older than what they said. And, you're already in love with me, so it don't matter anymore. That's very deceitful. That's very humiliating for that other person, and you're using that other person. You're deceitful. Let's be honest. That's what it comes down to. I tell people I'm direct. You're lying. You're deceitful. You're not being open and honest. And you're taking decision-making. And, if they knew my real age, they wouldn't, be open and honest, right? Be legit. And there's so many other, disappointments that go on. You find out, somebody, I want kids. And they're lying. And they, really don't want kids, but they're trying to get you to fall in love with you. And this goes with, men, women. It doesn't matter. Everybody assumes it's a gender thing. No, it isn't. It's both. So, how do you avoid those type of disappointments? You can't, right? And it's one of those, women tend to be great CIA agents, right? They tend to research. They tend to, they'll Facebook search, social media, they'll Google search, all those situations. And let's be honest, right? And those situations they're not easy, right? And the women, they'll find out all this crap. So you better be legit anyways and be upfront. But some don't check. Some, looking for love so bad that they ignore red flags. They ignore looking at these questions about, what is happening and what is going on in a legit situation, so they further don't reach disappointment, okay? So the only thing you can do is be open and honest with yourself and listen to your gut instinct, right? What other dating disappointments do you have? I already talked about sex, right? How many people are in that situation where you thought, man, that person would just be, like I said, curl your toes, would be phenomenal. And you're finding out that they're the opposite of phenomenal, right? And again, like I said, you're nervous. I get it. Alicia, what's happening? That you're nervous. First time jitters, right? That type of situation. I get it. Both people nervous. It might not be the best. But you think the potential is there. And that's a dangerous word too, right? The potential. Or that person, you just two don't jive when it comes to sex. You don't jive that way. Or you find out that your huge disappointment about your political views, your beliefs on, LGBTQ community, right? And look at DEI, right? Going on. So I'm a huge, like I said, I promote LGBTQ, human rights. I'm a huge humanist, right? Does that mean one person has more rights over another because of those? No. I'm all about equality, okay? And then you be able to look at somebody that is not that way, and then you say, oh, they're great except for this. But then does that resentment build over time? Does it build over months, over years? That ends up, I can't do this anymore. So that's where you have to look at what is important to you in the dating realm. If it is the same political views, if it is the same religious views, what is your view on sex, on intimacy? One person loves oral, the other one hates it. And you're hoping, I'm going to get them to change their mind. Or the other one that hates it, I'm going to get them to be okay with it, with not liking it, not getting it, not receiving it, giving it, whatever. Excuse me. And it's setting you up for a huge disappointment. So a lot of people, talk about red flags, but I'm also looking at, there's a difference between red flags and someone just don't jive with you, or it's not going to work for you because of those compatibility issues. So I look at, number one, is that person deceitful, lying, misleading, those type of situations we can't avoid, right? That we can't control. But we look at ourselves, are we setting ourselves up for disappointment? Meaning, we're trying to take that person for who they really are, not their beliefs, their values. Like I said, that's why I'm all about, first dates, get everything out of the way. And a lot of people, I'm not talking about this, it's only our first date. Well, why would you waste your time? Why would you waste anybody else's time to be able to address that situation and to get rid of, any type of disappointments down the road? My philosophy is, why waste people's time? Now, if you meet somebody and you really aren't jiving, whatever, doesn't matter. But then, are you open to be open and honest? Hey, big fish, what's happening? So that's where I look at those situations. Why not get it out of the way in the dating realm, right on the first date? But a lot of people, I can't talk about sex. Well, you don't have to get too descriptive. But if someone asks you, hey, do you like sex? Are you a sexual person? Well, I could take it or leave it. Well, I'm I like sex. I enjoy it. I like that connection. So we're not going to be compatible. Why waste that other person's time and why waste your time, right? And a lot of people look at, there's more important things, right? But that's already a compatibility issue if it's very important to one person, but it's not important to the other. That's a compatibility issue that, again, why waste your time? Why waste your time, whatever? If you are, say, someone that is devout, very religious. I am not religious. I tell people that all the time. I'm not religious at all. But But if you're, say you're very devout religious and you're with somebody, say, that is atheist, agnostic, and, your religion's so crucial to you, but they're a cool person, they're awesome, they're terrific. But it comes down to the road. Is that going to be a deal breaker, or can you be okay with them not being religious? And then, let's face it, if you both want kids, how do you raise those kids? Can you be okay raising them religion and not religion? Is there a middle ground with that? There's some couples that work that out. So that's what I'm talking about, setting yourself up for disappointment, And what other things would be a disappointment, right? What happens if, we talk about sex, kids, finances, right? One person is, saves every penny, and the other one lives tomorrow. Woohoo, I don't care, I could die tomorrow. Is that going to clash? Or is there a balance? But a lot of people, I think, in the dating realm, they might set themselves up for disappointment. And again, they either don't like what they hear from that other person, they try to ignore it because it doesn't fit their scheme or what they're looking for, and that does a disservice to yourself and also to that other person, right? There's so many disappointments. That's where I want people in the dating realm. It sucks, right? Let's be honest. A lot of people I hear out there, I've been there years and years ago, dating is not a great situation, right? For a lot of people. And also you have a realm, who pays for the first date, deciding on, the disappointments, right? Your view, if you're dating someone and, we'll say stereotypical, even though I don't get into stereotypes too much, where a woman, the guy pays all the bills. The woman, every date the man pays for, right? And the man's like, huh, what? That's not me. I'm looking for someone not, but she's beautiful, she's great, she's cool. Then the annoyance is going to come out sooner or later, right? So you have to look at what you are looking for, and are you being open and honest with that? Okay? Oh, but she's great, she's awesome. Or he's awesome, he's great. But you have to look at, also, what your view of reality is and realistic view. There's somebody I knew that, not good, of course not, but one lady I knew that a man, I'm not going out on a first date, and no matter first date or not, a man should expect to spend at least $300 on a date with me, even on a first date. And I looked at her and I said, good luck, right? Boy, man, where are you getting are you entitled? And tell me, why would you deserve that for a guy that you don't even know? You talk about entitlement. You talk about, you get me? So you have to look at, don't set yourself up for disappointment. I want you to be able to look at and what is going after, in the dating realm. What are you looking for? Get it out of the way. And a lot of people will disagree with me. Now, I get that. If there's no connection, whatever, you're not going to bring up, maybe, sex. Maybe the other person, maybe you will. Maybe you have a connection with that person, but that other person has no connection with you. Yeah, I like sex. Doesn't mean we're going to have it together. Doesn't mean we're even going to make it past this first date. But it's part of getting to know each other and get it out of the way. Why would you go on 2, 3, 4, 6 dates before you even talk about certain things? But a lot of people, it's not time. I'm uncomfortable. Well, we're adults. We're looking at this. We have to look at what is important and what is, understanding for each one of us. So why waste time? And a lot of people will look at, if a guy asks, hey, are you a sexual person? Oh, he's already talking sex. He already wants to have sex with me. No. He might, but no, that doesn't mean that. They're trying to look at compatibility. Women, I've had women, dating, and they throw it out first. Greg, are you a sexual person? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? What's your views on it? And I'm like, get it out of the way. So, but a lot of people will say, I'm this type of person. That I don't talk. Really? Why waste somebody's time? And the same thing with your view on money, or what's your view on how you live, how you want to live, right? And a lot of people set themselves up, like I said and repeated, my apology, they set themselves up to be disappointed, not only by their the person they're on a date with, but they sort of disappoint themselves because they're not listening to that individual. They look at the profile, well, that's not a big deal. I don't really believe in that, but they seem like a cool person. Wow, they're attractive, him, her, whatever. So that doesn't matter. And then later on, you find out it does matter. Don't BS yourself. Be open, be legit, and you'll start having more quality, hopefully more quality dates and looking for that life partner if that's what you're looking for. If you're only looking for hookups, be open, be honest about just looking for hookups, okay? Be open, be honest, okay? And hopefully you can put some of this stuff into play and start having more quality dates, more intriguing dates, and more dates with people that are aligned with you, because you are actually looking at what they're about in the profiles, or, if you meet, whatever, networking event, you work at a social gathering, whatever, great. You can start talking about, whatever. But if you don't know they're single, interested, that can be, I get that. That's understanding. But if you know they are looking for love, they're looking for that, have those conversations, get them out of the way. And a lot of people disagree with me. I'm like, okay, you can disagree with me, but I'm all about emotional maturity, and I'm all about being adults and looking for that common interest and that, compatibility, where you're looking for your life partner, if that's what you want, okay? You're looking for that wife, wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, whatever, right? So be open, be honest, and ask yourself, am I setting myself up for disappointment? And again, other people disappointing us, we can't control. We just have to listen to our gut instinct and, be aware and be alert and look for little things that are idiosyncrasies that might not jive, where 1 minute that person says one thing and then they say the total opposite. Wait a minute. I thought you said you wanted kids. Now you just said you don't want kids, or you don't know. Call them out. Be open. Be honest. Excuse me. And that's where you have to look at, compatibility and, somebody, I know exactly what I want. And the other person's like, I don't know really what I want. But then is that going to be a good fit? Because you're hoping that person will want the same things you do, even though they don't know what they want. You get me? So don't set yourself up for disappointment. Be open, be honest, be legit, people. And I know we can't dictate or control that in other people. We just hope so. But I gave you stories about me personally at the beginning, where you walk in and that lady can't even recognize her, not even close to her pictures, right? I'm being legit, the 10, 15, I'm being nice. I'm going to say 15 years old. And you're like, what? Not even close. Hey, what's going on with this, right? Right off the bat, you're already misleading, deceitful. It's not going to work, okay? So take these, learn from them, pass them around, please. Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. Like I said, I'm Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist. And yes, most of what I work with is couples, marriages, absolutely, right? Trying to heal broken hearts, trying to rebuild trust, and trying to get more connected emotionally, mentally, and of course, physically, if that's what you want, okay? So check out my website again, theartofrelationships.org. Follow me all over the place at LoveGuruGreg, and I appreciate you watching, taking the time. I know your time is very valuable, and I never take that for granted. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you spending your time. Peace and love, okay, everybody? Take care. Bye-bye.